Hello, Doug again, right where we left off. Barb's running the camera. I'm trying to stay out of her way. Okay, where we left off, we've got a lot of coffee buildup. This is going to probably soak for 24 hours or so. We've got grease, coffee. All right, before we do anything more on this one, we'll put that in Joglo. All right, I've got a little more to do on this group. So I use the other, this is the snap ring to take the little clips off. It's the one that opens when you squeeze it. This is the one that closes when you squeeze it. So, I need to get down in there and find the clip, the ends of the clip. And I'd like these little guys.
You're looking for the rod retaining clip?
Yeah, there's the clip. Thankfully it came out. A lot of times they don't. That's going to go in citric acid. Then there's the 4-hole washer. What do I do with my poker card? The 4-hole washer, it's loose. That's a good thing. A lot of times they're not. Sometimes this part is partial or it's rusted through. And if that's the case, you have to just get a probe, grab one corner of it. It can be a real issue to get that part out. I've never had to use anything but just some. Sometimes you have to get in there and abrasive blast it to clean it. Sometimes you have to plug the hole and put citric acid down in there to get the oxidation gone. And this is in fairly good shape, just dirty. There's a seal down in the bottom, in the well. Okay, there it is. Once again, as hard as a brick bat.
Probably not doing much sealing.
Yeah, it would have leaked. It would have been like remember the first Cremina we got?
I do. It sort of
something.
fountained everywhere on the counter.
Oh boy, we got our Cremina. It's so pretty, it's so red, it's so nice.
We were so excited.
Oh, and it just squirted water all over the kitchen. That was something. But it spawned an industry, as they say.
It did spawn our industry.
It was the birth of an idea. Okay, I've got one more gasket to remove from this thing, and this is often the most painful because it's so hard. Okay, you have to figure out a way to get under it, and a lot of people like to use Dremel tools, but I prefer hand tools if I can. This thing is so...
This is the portafilter gasket.
It's the portafilter gasket, and it is so hard that it just fractures. Usually you can just poke it with a sharp probe. You can just poke into the surface of it and you can lift some part of it out. But this thing is hard as a rock. And so what you have to do, you have to break a section of it out. You have to, once you can get one piece of it out, then you can generally get the rest of it out without this much.
You hit me with that.
Well,
there's flying bits.
Yeah, there's flying bits.
That's okay. I have safety glasses on.
That's right. You are OSHA approved. But I use this little stout awl, and it's just crumbly. I don't really even think a skill knife would do much because there's not a lot of room down there except to cut yourself. Point, you just do have to
get medieval with
try to penetrate it, and bend more of these. I'm getting it till I bend more of these cheap
gasket tools.
Gasket tools. There it comes. Once you get under it.
Well, that's why I buy them by the dozen.
That's right. No, you buy it by the dozen, and I haven't figured out. Listen to that. I haven't figured out what to do with the second one that comes in the kit. The one with the hooks on it. Yeah, see, this is coming out in pieces. A lot of times, if it's flexible at all, you'll get one side of it up, And then you can get your hook end under it and grab it and just yank it out by brute force.
That used to be EPDM rubber.
This used
That
to
was
be.
flexible
It
and
was flexible
soft.
rubber. But I'm just going to have to keep at it.
It now sort of looks like coal.
It does, yeah, coal. It probably, it's got to. You see, it's easier to get out if you break it when it's this brittle. And I'm glad it's breaking because otherwise it's nearly impossible. You know, this is one of those situations where you're gonna, oh man, this thing is really hard. You can get in. I have gotten in with if I've had to very carefully cut one section of it with a Dremel tool, but you just really do risk, you know, unless you're a trained surgeon, extremely good. I'm generally very careful whenever I get a spinning tool anywhere close to my beard because I have gotten a Dremel stuck in it, so I have a tendency to use hand
That
tools.
was awful when you did that.
That was surprising. It happened so fast. You know, I mean, one minute I was just me, and the next minute I was like, you know.
You were like the Dremel
I was a
man.
Dremel guy. Okay, so in this thing, we've got a lot of crusty coffee in this groove here. All right. There's another groove. The groove that holds the dispersion screen on is it's a small groove. I've got a completely mangled probe here somewhere. Oh my gosh, I hope I didn't throw that one away. Ah, there it is. See this little guy? See the tip on that?
Kind of gnarly.
Yeah, but that's the perfect tool for cleaning out that little ridge.
The dispersion screen ridge?
Dispersion screen ridge. You just need a little hook tool like that. Okay, this, let me go ahead and do that. Get this stuff handled before I proceed to the next thing. Okay, as I said, citric acid for these parts.
For the hardware parts?
Yeah, Joe Glow for these parts. I just basically, if you just bear with me a second, Joe Glow's the citric acid. Where'd I put it? Okay, I just take a little thing here, just a little cup, and I got my citric acid, and just dump some in there, tablespoon or so. This is going to sit for a long time. You just use regular hot water. You don't have to use boiling water or anything, because as I said, this is going to sit overnight. So I'm going to put those pieces in. I'm going to put my brass pieces in that I've collected so far. That's my citric acid. Put it with the machine. Now I'm going to take some Joe Glow or other coffee cleaner. I like Joe Glow because it's a good price. Mix that up with hot water, drop in my screen, drop in my piston, put in the whole group. Okay? There we go. Now that's going to soak.
And the group is in Joe Glow,
Everything's
not
in Joe Glow.
citric acid.
No citric acid for the group. Joe Glow. No citric acid for the group, remember. Okay, this I can put it in the citric acid. I usually leave these things on the shelf, but you put it in one way and it gets nice and clean, and then you turn it around the other way and the other side gets nice and clean. Okay, how are we doing on time on this video, Barb?
9 minutes and 10 seconds.
Okay, so we can do a little more. All right. Now,
Don't slop your water.
yeah, that's the problem with putting it on that thing. Here, let me put it over in the counter. So, because I'm being a little, I don't want to be too casual. Put it over there so I don't spill it. Okay, there's the 10 millimeter. Now, this is the old style, which has the full channel across the top, the square channel that goes across the top. The 1982, 1983 this has a tube that goes over the boiler that goes to the steam. So we can take off the steam one. Okay, I need a longer 17 millimeter. Okay, these guys, this is held on with a copper crush washer in the original counterclockwise. Okay, all right. Okay, new tool, vice grips with leather jaws. Okay, you get yourself a nice thick piece of leather.
Like out of an old belt?
That's exactly what it is, out of an old belt. You're going to have to grab a hold of this. All right. Okay. You grab a hold of it, and it goes against the threads. See, the leather's on the thing.
Leather's important so you don't mark up.
So you don't mark it up. Gee, why did I tighten these damn things up so much? I never do. Okay, that's nice. Okay. We've got a different seal set that we use on this one that's much easier to use than that single copper crush washer. Because they put them on so tight and I don't know what they're afraid of, because this copper washer doesn't seal anything. All it does is hold the faucet in place. A lot of people like the newer one model versus this one here, but this is actually easier to work on, as you saw me just about explode. Okay, there goes the copper. This is I'm threading it out of there's a dead O-ring behind it, and you actually screw this thing out. And there's the dead O-ring. Okay, I'm just going to leave that because I don't want to bend this plate. Okay, now, how are we doing on time, Barb?
12 minutes and
Okay.
20 seconds.
Now, in order to gain access to these two little panel screws down here, you have to take off the pressure step. And long wrench. Go ahead and leave it hooked, leave the electrical hooked up. Okay, here's the pressure step.
That was easy.
That was easy. Scale in there. Just reach in here. Now that you've taken it off, it's easier to remove the wires. And they will come off by wiggling. Back and forth. Okay. Take your P-stat. Wow. Look at the gap on that. This is either the freshest 35-year-old pressure stat that's ever been invented, or that is running at about 1 bar. No, 1/10 of a bar. Okay, we set that aside.
I was going to say, isn't 1 bar where it's supposed to be?
No, 1/10 of a bar. That's set real low. Here's my flashlight so you can see what we're doing here. See the little nut? And more evaluation. Look at the crust on this thing. Okay, that's what we're going to take off. Now, I got these long socket things. These tools are Waha, German made, soft finish, nice. This is a 5.5. They used about 3 different size threads in this application. The smaller one is nicer because you can generally get at it. Okay, so we take that off. Did it fall in?
Don't know where it went.
Somewhere.
Inside your...
Yeah, there it is. The safest thing to do is just screw that back on, because that way you won't confuse it. Where's my parts? Parts down there. Okay, so now we go over and we get the other one, which is hiding. Oh,
Goes in your parts.
that goes in the citric. Goes in the citric acid. Okay, there's the other one. It's hiding back there behind the ground wire. So you get on that one, you get your, see, they used to, nope, that's 5.5. Alright, you just can't, you hold the screw head still with your finger. You don't need to use a screwdriver on that. It's too dangerous. You could scratch the front of it. Just hold it still with your finger. Okay, now that whole front plate's going to come off. Once again, best thing to do is just to screw that on there. And take your time with this stuff. You won't lose any parts.
1508.
1508. Okay, so we'll shut down now. See you back for number 4. We're gonna go ahead and finish that all in this run. So